when you went back and looked at the tape, I guess, from Nebraska and some of the defensive struggles, what did you really see that stood out to you, and where is the 1-3-1 kind of in play right now?
The big thing that a lot of people are still having trouble with is ball screen defense. I looked at this league, and this league was a hard hedge league for almost everybody's hard hedging. We're one of the few teams that is hard hedging right now, and it's incredible how everybody is trying to find it. Every time we find a way to defend a ball screen, somebody else has something new to it. And I think it's a big basis is a young team has to continue to grow. And we can't give up on our fundamentals. So that was big. And then the 1-3-1 zone, you're going to see it again. You're not going to see it very long if they make baskets, that's for sure. But if they turn it over, like one or two teams have this year, we throw it back in.
Is there anything holding it back right now, or like in an instance like Nebraska?
Is
there anything holding it back right now from really being implemented?
Yeah, I think we have to have a lot of confidence that all of our players know. It just takes one guy not to know his assignment, and then people. The one thing here's the one issue that is always big with 1-3-1. They don't know it's coming, but you don't know how they're going to attack it because it's not out there. You don't go, oh, let's look at all the other times 1-3-1 they played against the 1-3-1. Here's what they did. You don't know what they're going to do. But you know what? If they spend 15 minutes in practice, right, practicing for it, then that was 15 minutes they didn't do on something else we did. So we always have it in there.
Don't throw the pick. John, you guys, the sophomores on this team, you guys learned a lot of lessons last year in different games, Wisconsin. So in other words, you mentioned the Penn State loss earlier. What was the biggest lesson, I think, or whatever it was you guys took from that? If you didn't overlook them, what was the lesson learned that day?
Yeah, there's so many small details that little things will matter in a game. Whether I think we shot poorly from the foul line, we had some turnovers, sloppy turnovers against the press. Just a sense of valuing that you could lose any game if you run into a guy who was 6 for 10 from 3, right? Now we didn't look past that. He just got open, and we didn't defend it well. But some of the action they ran, we didn't even have in a scouting report or something new or that we missed it. But you still can stop that if you maybe pay more attention to your foul shooting in practice. Maybe you have less turnovers. We gave them the ball, or we took really bad shots 2 or 3 times. Now you lose that game, all that stuff comes back in, and you say, okay, we couldn't stop the 6 for 10, but we could have done this, and that's what you do.
Right in the middle with Jennifer.
John, you talked about being fresh for this stretch that's coming up. How do you manage the 3 games in 8 days that you will have with 2 of them being against number 3 and number 4 on the road?
Well, I'll only speak from experience because, like I said, I know we have, because you have all mentioned it, and then I had to do my planning for travel of when we're leaving, and we also have a 5 and 13 coming up, which is one of the most difficult stretches any team can go through. You have to just manage it. You have to go into those games thinking a week or 2 ahead of what you have coming, and then make sure you're really trying to keep if you keep your team fresh for every game, that will take care of itself. And you can't look at a week's practice and say, okay, we got a week to practice. We're going to go 3 hours every day for 5 days because we want to get ready for Saturday. Well, you won't be ready for Saturday, number 1, and number 2, you might not be ready for the next Tuesday because you might have done too much. So that's what we're always balancing, and it's one of the toughest things for coaches to do, really.
Just a quick follow-up. I know you say you don't look ahead and you only have to because of travel accommodations and such. Do you say to your players, don't look ahead? I mean, do you give them a little bit of a cautionary warning on getting too far ahead of themselves?
I don't know if they do on their own, but if you ask them, we've never mentioned any other game than Penn State. And I think yesterday I may have mentioned that we were going to get into a more rapid succession of games. And when I talk to them about it, Jennifer, it's about sleep, eat, storing up your energy, because as you see, the Big Ten, they have close games. There's a lot of trouble. We got home at 4 a.m. After that Nebraska game, Central Time, 8 o'clock. 4 a.m. So we talked a lot about that to stay fresh. We can't sleep for them, but they can.